Hi everyone, this is Reginald from bassFREQ, and today I'd like to follow up with another installment of our Uber Jazz Shootout. I'm not sure why, but I just have this craze over jazz basses, and I'm thankful that at bassFREQ we get to play a lot of amazing instruments, and a lot of these are my favorites. So and it's always difficult, when we have to choose one versus the other, but I thought since we have the resource of just having different instruments, one great way to present them is actually to show you how different it is. So what I have today is actually a Fodera, and this is the Fodera NYC that is made previously from their Japanese factory, but this has now been discontinued, but it's still made to the highest of workmanship, and I'm just extremely impressed with these instruments made by Fodera. So I'm going to compare it with the Xotic XJ1T-4 string, which is also one of my favorite, and I'd like you to hear how different it is. You can make the judgment yourself, which one you like better, and I hope that you will find this video useful. So let me tell you a little bit about this instrument. There's a gorgeous spalted maple top to it. It looks almost like it has some flames going from this side over to here. You have Fodera hardware, Fodera pickups, Mike Pope 3-band EQ, so you have 3-band with the mids. You have your blend, you have a stack, volume and tone. There's an active passive bypass, and on the back, this is a very gorgeous piece of ashwood maple neck, one piece maple neck with a maple fingerboard. Just great workmanship from Fodera. So I'm just going to run this first on passive. Let me just bring up the level a little bit. So this is actually how it sounds in passive. Nice. So flipping the switch to active. So you can hear that the sound is more pronounced. It's a little more forward now with the preamp in action, but the preamp is actually still kind of in the middle. So I'm just going to boost the bass a little bit and treble. So you can hear that there's a bit more kind of scoop EQ, and then now let me try cutting the mids a little bit just to give that nice slap tone. So that's how the preamp actually sounds like. And if I boost the mids, so you can hear actually this the voicing of the Mike Pope preamp. I actually find the mids to be a little high. So if I boost it more, you can actually, it's quite nasal. So I probably won't dial too much of that, but just enough for for the mids to cut through. So bridge pickup position, I'll just put the treble back to center, bass just boost a little bit, give it some mid. Sounds great. So this Fodera bass, feel-wise, the neck is actually a little rounder, a little meatier compared to the Xotic. The frets that is used is also just a tinge bigger. And one thing I like about this Fodera is that, you know, it has this contour at the back, so it's actually very comfortable if you're playing at the higher positions. So let's just do a quick swap on the instrument, and I'm going to swap over to the Xotic XJ1T. And you know, as I pick this bass up, I can actually feel that the XJ1T sound feels actually slightly lighter than the Fodera. The neck is, it feels just a tinge thinner. And let's just get some tone out from this bass. So I'm just going to run in passive mode. Just want to make sure you get the right amount of sound without distortion. So you can hear actually, even when it's in passive mode, this bass actually sounds a little more alive. It has a bit more top end to it, and snappier sound. I would say this probably sounds closer to like a Marcus Miller or 70s jazz bass to me. And a fingerstyle. Nice and full. So this is when active mode is on, the gain is probably a little high, so I can actually tweak it just to make sure that we get a similar volume between the active and passive. So now I'm in active mode. Let me get my EQ back to the flat position, tone full. So straight away, I can tell that, you know, it still keeps that 70s character. Of course, it sounds brighter than the Fodera. And then on the mids, let's see how the mid responds. So if I just cut a bit of that low mids, boost a bit of the bass and just a tinge of treble. So it, you know, has that nice smooth sound. This is how it sounds if I cut the mids fully, but I think that's too much. So if I actually boost the mids, the good thing about this as compared to the mic poke preamp is that I can actually select my low mids, which is what I like. You know, so I can actually dial that frequency of mids that I'm personally more comfortable with. So this is actually how it sounds with the mids a little boosted and playing fingerstyle. So this is basically just a quick comparison with the two basses, and I think my assessment is that this Xotic actually gives a brighter sound. So if you like something that's a little brighter, snappier, I think this would work. The Fodera probably has something like a more old school kind of sound. The pickups are not as bright, not as hot, and you know, even playing, it feels that the Fodera is good for players who like to attack more. I think that's where the sound actually comes out. But the Xotic, it works for medium players or even light players. You know, you can just play lightly and the bass responds quite well to you. So other than that, construction of both basses, I think they're just incredible. So this is how well the XJ1T compares against the Fodera NYC 4 jazz bass, and I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. Thank you.